All right, here we are live, and I've got my camera working again. It is just after 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time on the 16th of May, 2022. I'm checking my waveform to make sure that I have microphone because, well, lately I have had issues with that. So here I am, 1944S. Nice year to be watching for double dies, both obverse and reverse. And some nice repunchment marks in 1944S. Hello, Carl. And so I am going to open this roll up and see what's inside. I got 50 coins, 50 people. Or not 50 people, but 50 spots have been paid for. And let me get everything all twisted around the right way here. There's Steven, there's Malcolm, there's Coins and Ghouls. I did get my camera issue fixed. Yay! Alright, coin number 1, Penny Hoarder. Penny Hoarder will have coin number 1. Let's see what's on coin number 1. It's a Ball Serif style mint mark. Doesn't mean a whole lot for 44S, but it is a little unusual. It's not the more common, regardless of year. Yes, Stephen, unfortunately you did miss it. It was at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Right. Let's get focused in for this reverse. Take a good look at it. And it appears I have nothing going on here. So that will be that for coin number 1, Penny Hoarder. And let me move on now to coin number 2. Coin number 2, Crispy. And Crispy's coin. Coin number 2. That's a large S. Regular Serif S or a large S. Trumpet tail, some people call it. It looks like well, it looks like it's normal so far. This little bit of doubling on the top of the 4, top of the last 4 of the date is normal. You can see that separation line running across the top of the crosslets, right here and right here. Those are normal. All right, let's flip it over and take a look at the other side. And the other side appears to be a normal 1944S Lincoln cent. Rebecca! How are you doing, Rebecca? I haven't seen you in a long time. I was wondering what had gone on with you and where you've been all my life. I figured Malcolm would be dragging you out a little more. Alright, got a normal obverse late die state on this one. This one's for Stanley. And a normal late die state reverse as well. So this is kind of not such a great coin. You've been grounded. Oh my gosh. You've been a bad girl. Or do you have a very understanding partner? So I said that understanding, not understanding. We all have to have our vices, right? And coins can be a vice. Okay, there's another later dice date, pretty much normal, 1944S. Ooh, this one's very late dice date here on the reverse. Not that pretty. Spent your hubby's money? Oh, yuck. Yeah, that can be tough. Here's one for Malcolm. Woohoo! There we go. Nice little bit of a doubled eyelid there. You can see a secondary eyelid underneath, or actually coming out of the bottom of the eye. Doubled eyelid there on a 1944D, or a 1944S, I'm sorry. 1944S. All right, and that was a large S. Let's take a look at the reverse here. Yeah, the rim damage that you're seeing on these coins is from them banging around in a bag. So there's Malcolm's coin. Now coin number 6, yo man. Yo man. Begets a normal obverse. A little bit of machine doubling on the mint mark. Check that eye area real carefully. Okay. And for the reverse. Okay, nothing there. Now number 7. Number 7, yo man. Oh. So very late die state. It's like it struck through a chocolate bar. Not so good. The coins don't look bad when you just look at them. It's when you look at them under magnification, they look horrible. Good evening, Mr. Crescent. Here's one for Eric. It's like it's going to be the same thing again. Yeah. Same die pair. Very late die state reverse. Now number 9. Stephen? This will be the only reveal we will have this evening. I have some other things to attend to after I get finished with this show. But I will let you know that tomorrow we will have a couple of reveals, but we will also have the big auction tomorrow. Big auction for the week. Tomorrow we'll have rolls. If you like rolls, especially BU rolls of wheat pennies, you do not want to miss tomorrow. The auction tomorrow will be nice. I'm putting that in your head now. Because if you do not listen and you do not come, you will not be happy. You will not be happy. Tomorrow will be a big sale. A lot of nice rolls, including a whole bunch of wheat rolls. And a number of those will be uncirculated. Give you a good chance to dig into some of America's history in coins and own it and hold it in your own two hot little hands. That's coming up tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Oh, I'll get it fixed, Malcolm. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, my brother. I'm a one thing at a time person. And one of the things I had to take care of after the reveal sale and before this was to take my dog out so he could pinch one. Because my dog will not go unless I go with him. Which is okay because I don't really want him walking down the street without me because somebody'd steal him. He's the most wonderful dog in the world. But we'll get that bill fixed up. By the way, Malcolm, I did get the box and I did open it. Wasn't quite what I was looking for, but it's okay. It's fine. The photos I had seen were somewhat dark, and I guess I assumed a little better than what I ended up with. But it's pretty nice. It's not what I had imagined. Let's put it that way. But it was pretty nice. There's one for Stanley there. Coin number 13. Now coin number 14. Looking at coin number 14 for Penny Hoarder. And Penny Hoarder will get this coin. Nada. Let's see what we get on the reverse. A lot cleaner than some of these other ones have been. A lot cleaner. Nicer looking. Not a double die. My dog. My doggy dog is the best doggy dog I know. I have known better doggy dogs than mine, but I don't let him know that. He gets a complex very easily. There is an RPM. That is an RPM right there. This one's going to Ant2242. And if you look rather carefully, you will see doubling at the top and the lower serif. Let me get this here and get it brightened up a little bit so that you may see it better. You can see that there is doubling right up here and there's doubling right down here. I believe this could be RPM number 2, but I'm not sure about that. What I can be sure about is that it is an RPM. That's right, D-Day coins, June 6, wasn't it? June 6, 1944. Off the coast of Normandy. I think I saw a TV show about that a couple of weeks ago. And it seems like every time they produce a new TV show, I learn something new about it, even though it's 75-year-old information. I still learn something from it. It's amazing. All right, this is going to be an RPM. It is going to go off to the side for Ant2242. Let's take a really quick peek at the reverse to see if it happens to be a double die reverse as well. And not feeling it. No love here. But we do have an RPM. Yeah, sorry about that, Jim. It's kind of one of those things that it was really hard to get everything together for that. It was really hard to Oh, there's a 44S with a almost obliterated S. Very heavily polished area. It was very hard to get all the rolls together that I was going to be doing for a month period of time. And run those for the subscribers prior to the month beginning. And then I would run into 3 or 4 really good rolls that I would want to do, and it was cramping my style because I had all these others I had to finish first. Got to figure out a better way of handling it, and I'll get back to it, but I just have not figured out a good way of handle it. Another earlier die state, this one is a mid die state, 1944S. Unfortunately, doesn't have anything on the mint mark. But keep looking around, see if we see anything else on this one. And I got nothing on the reverse. Let's check out the reverse real quick. See if we have anything there. And nothing. I see nothing there. The sound is out? Or your sound? Anyway, what are we talking about, Malcolm? The sound is freaking out? Oh, 3 words isn't enough for me. I need to know what's going on. I'm flickering. My sound is? My mic... Let's see. My mic is a bad mic, I guess. The camera over the flips keeps spazzing. Well, I really don't know what's going on with that because it looks fine to me. Hang on. Oh, I see that now. Wow, my stuff is falling apart fast. There, I messed with the cable in the back to see. Let's see about Dennis's coin now. That's another one with the really soft mint mark area. It is always something. It looks like I'm going to have to do something about my technology and get updated. See what I can't do about getting new equipment. My microscope is fine. I like that part. Tell me if it starts flickering again. I've kind of revamped it just a little bit and did some playing around. Let's see if maybe that corrected it. There was one for Mr. Patillo. Yeah, if there's any chance it could be a bad cable or anything, I just kind of flickered, but I flicked with the cable a little bit to make it stop doing that. That's probably what put it out yesterday. This camera is, well, it cost me $70, but it's a cheesy camera. I thought I was getting a good professional camera, and when I got it, that's one of the problems with ordering stuff off Amazon where you really don't know what you're doing. You end up getting garbage. This was a no-name Chinese camera. I don't even remember what it said on the box, but it was like open with care or something. You know, it didn't say anything like a brand name. And well, I've been using it for a while. That doesn't mean it's any good, but I've been using it for a while. Maybe it's time for it to find a grave. in the I know exactly where the grave for stuff like that is. It's in the public dump about 1.5 miles, 2 miles from the house. If I go outside on a really good clear day, I can see it through the trees. So I think my sound should be okay. I've moved my microphone, so I'm speaking directly into it now. You should be able to hear me. Check, check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2. Nah, we don't smell the... I don't know if the dump is that kind of... I'm not really sure what the dump that I can see is. It's a large landfill, and it seems to be fine. I don't ever smell it. It is unscented for your viewing pleasure. All right, here's number 22. I guess it's more like 2.5 miles away, but I don't remember ever having smelled it. I don't remember it being an issue. Palm Beach, is that Florida? West Palm Beach? I've driven, you mean I-95? I've driven that area, and I didn't remember actually seeing landfills, but I do remember there being a pretty hefty amount of garbage on the highway, including about 1/3 of the cars I was driving with. They should have been in the landfill. I tell you what, the state of Florida and I have had no love lost for one another. I'm glad I don't live in Florida anymore. Fresno's landfill is on the historic register. Is that one of those places where you just want to go and dig down 30 feet and see what's there? The old bottles and boxes and all kinds of stuff that you would find down there that would be collectible now. Whatever hasn't broken down. Oh, you're in Boca Raton? No, that doesn't sound right. Yeah, Boca Raton. It's where it's where my wife used to work when we lived in that area. We were over there, and I used to go to the Green Acres coin show. I used to go to the coin show down in Plantation. Oh, yeah. I saw that. I saw your address was Wellington. I'm like, oh, dude, I know where Wellington is. I've been to Wellington plenty of times. I've done quite a bit over in Wellington. We lived in a place in Green Acres off Lantana, and we did our thing there, and the wife worked in Boca, and I lived and worked in Green Acres. And that was for about a year, maybe a year and a half. It's about a year. We moved in Thanksgiving Day 2018, and we left on Labor Day weekend 2019. So we lived there from November of 18 to September of 19. My dog? My dog's right here. What happened? He got scared today because we had a thunderstorm. Are you talking about my dog, Spike Ted Die Crack? Yeah, my dog is here. He's fine. And we are in the 1944S. Angie, did you go to school in Memphis? Or no? Oh, look, there's a big old struck through on that one. It had big old, look like a rock on, look like a boulder sitting on the die when this was minted. Call that a pocket strike. No, not really anything good, Angie. It's been kind of a dry roll. Had one possible double die lid. We've had one decent RPM. That's it. Oh, you went to school in Mississippi. Okay. I went to school in Memphis. Went to school in Memphis from the 3rd grade until I graduated high school. And I left town, went in the military, never moved back there. Struck through a bed bug. That'll work. Wonder if it has any retained pieces. Yeah, look, I found his left ventricle. This is an earlier die state coin. Nice sharp details all around. See if we happen to find anything of collectible value on this. Some die gouges running through the S of Trust. More die gouges. Huh. Looks like somebody was writing cuneiform on this. In case anybody doesn't know, cuneiform is an ancient language, ancient written language of little lines that went back and forth in different directions to make the different letters. It's one of the first alphabets. Like, goes back to the Phoenicians. Yeah, the area I lived in, the first area I lived in Memphis, we moved to in 1977. And it was a relatively new area, new houses, new neighborhood. And we moved there. I went to school, not too far away from where I lived. And it was actually a relatively decent, nice area. I think my parents paid like $30,000 for the house. Nice little 3-2 house, kind of in a not really a subdivision, more just a suburb type thing. And we lived there for the first 2.5 years. And I went back there to take a look at it again, and it was a very rundown area, very rundown neighborhood. I highly doubt any of the people I knew when I lived there still live there. Appears to be the type of place where I think pretty much everyone that I would know moved away. It's a very rundown area. Looks like plenty of crime. Almost poverty. Just really kind of weird to see your neighborhood fall apart like that over the years. Well, that was coin number 30 for Carl. Going on to coin number 31 now, Stanley. Stanley. Is this no, it's not the /S die. This one's got a line between the D and W of "In God We Trust." Not seeing much of anything on this one, though, other than that. Let's see about the reverse and see what we have on the reverse, if anything. Not seeing anything there. Yeah, pretty much all the places that we lived when we lived in Memphis that were okay, that were relatively nice, are now not good. That city probably needs a bulldozer taken to it. It's definitely one of those places where over the years I lived there, everyone moved from in the city to out of the city. Very desegregated city, yet segregated, if you understand what I'm saying. Definitely haves and have-nots. Now, we were the middle of the road most of the time. We had some, but we didn't have much. So we lived in what was considered middle-income housing. It wasn't bad. 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom houses with a yard. Seemingly relatively low crime rate. I mean, you know, people get their cars broke into once in a while and stuff like that, but you didn't have drive-by shootings or anything. And now if you go to the Memphis News on the web, or you bring the stories up on YouTube or something, you see that there's murders there on a very regular basis now. It used to be that way. A lot of the people I used to go to high school with have moved away from the city. There's also a number of them who are still in the city. And I guess it could also be one of those things. See, I've moved away from a number of different areas in my life, and I've been back to those areas. And it always seems that when you live someplace, you make do with what you got, and everything's fine, everything's okay. And then when you move away and you go back, it's like, did I really live here? Yeah, a lot of people live in DeSoto County now. And the thing about it, my dad lived in DeSoto County for a long time, and it's just kind of spread out. A lot of stuff kind of spread out down there. My dad lived somewhere down in the direction of basically Church Road, Nail Road, down south of Horn Lake. And it was a nice area when he lived there. That was probably 10, 15 years ago. I can't imagine it's quite the same now as it was then, but I'm sorry, we're not really finding much of anything in this roll. It is an uncirculated roll, and it is from 1944S, and that's the story I got when I opened it. It is what it is. I mean, for coins to stick in an album, they're pretty nice. They're just not die variety type coins because, well, even the ones that would be die varieties are so worn out. The dies are so worn out, it would be hard to tell. I've got two of them here, though, that are actually pretty decent. Got one that's got a nice little doubled eyelid. It's a relatively decent looking doubled eyelid. And the other one is an RPM, I believe, RPM number 2. Nothing else yet in this roll. There's one for Ant. 2242. Most of the time when I go through Memphis now, I'm basically, well, I don't go through Memphis now, but in the last 10 years, 15 years, going through Memphis was a matter of my driving through the downtown Memphis area, going from Florida to Missouri. And the few times I actually did stop in Memphis, it was, it just wasn't nice. It really just wasn't nice. It's an interesting coin. Those colors are in the planchet. You can see how they run right through everything else. That's it's a planchet issue. That color was on the planchet when the coin was struck. A lot of meth in New Kensington. I don't know Pennsylvania all that well. I mean, I've been to it a few times. I kind of like Western Pennsylvania. What I've seen of it, I kind of liked. I actually kind of liked Pittsburgh. I've been to Philadelphia. I spent a week in a hotel room a mile from the Pennsylvania line in Delaware. So I drove up into Pennsylvania a few times then. I don't know the state all that well. I've flown over it far more times than I've stopped in it. Of course, North Carolina, I could have told you that before I moved here. Oh yeah, I've been there a couple of times. Don't know much about it. Now I live here. Don't know much about it. But I'm learning. At some point, I'll dig myself out from under these piles of coins and actually start doing something around this state. Looks like we do have a minor double die here. Yeah, we have a little bit of doubling on the outside edge of the left wheat. We have an oval-shaped dot between the E and the P. We have a little bit of extra thickness on all of the characters going all the way across, especially the U's in unum. And we have an oval-shaped dot between the S and the U. So this is a double die reverse. It's relatively minor, but it is there. And I'm going to hold this one out and hold some hope that we have this listed or that it can be listed and that we'll get that done. That's coin number 39, though. That one going to Stephen. And one for Chuck Patillo now. Chuck. That's an RPM. You see that extra serif sticking out below the bottom serif. That is a 1944S RPM. I doubt this one is number 2, but it could be. I don't think it is, though. Let's check the reverse on this one. Sometimes you end up finding a double die reverse on an RPM or double die obverse and reverse together. It's actually, if I can remember correctly, there is one die that I know of. There's one die pair that I know of. I believe it's a 1948S, where there is a double die obverse, a double die reverse, and a repunch mint mark on the same die pair. Triple variety. And the way things are generally listed and the way we list things at Copper Coins is that is listed as 3 separate dies, even though it's really only 2 dies and 1 coin. But you'll have a listing for the double die obverse, you will have a listing for the RPM, and you will have a listing for the double die reverse. 3 different die numbers. Because there really isn't to my knowledge, a better way of doing it. I think West Virginia would be a really beautiful place to live. The only problem I have with West Virginia is it seems the availability of employment is quite low there. I believe it may be better now that we've been through the pandemic and everything, but I know that for many years West Virginia was kind of pretty well known as a place where it was almost impossible to get employment. Very late die state reverse here. I didn't like Florida. I liked parts of it, and there were certain times that I really enjoyed being in Florida, certain times I enjoyed living in Florida. But for the most part, whatever I want out of Florida, I can get with a weekend visit. I really don't have to live there to get what I would be there for. Don't really ever want to move back to Florida. And in fact, I don't really think I want to move anywhere further south than where I am now. North Carolina probably is about as far south as I really want to live. We're kind of on an even keel going across with Nashville. And then beyond that, probably the southern Missouri line. And then maybe Tulsa, Oklahoma, or maybe a little farther north than that. And go on across, and you'd probably hit Amarillo, Texas. That's about how far north or south we are right now, where I live. The east and west of things, I'm farther east than any point of the state of Florida. I'm farther east than any point of the state of Georgia and South Carolina. If you drew a line straight south from my house, you'd hit the Bahamas. Go to a map and look if you don't believe me. It's the way it is. Straight south from my little giddy up here, you hit the water at a beach in far southern North Carolina. And you don't hit land again until you get into the Bahamas Islands. Then you don't hit land again until you get to Cuba. Or maybe even Puerto Rico. Well, probably not the most sought after looking coins, but I'm telling you, you get them under just the dyno, or you get them where you're not looking at them at 30,000 X, and they actually look okay. Spiked Head Die Crack hit the 2015 Big DDO in a roll. Nice. Very nice. Here's number 47. Got 4 coins left in the roll. This is the first out of the 4 coins that are left in this roll. I want to remind you guys that we are going to be doing a nice auction tomorrow. Be here for the auction. Especially if you like rolls. There's a nice struck through right there. If you like rolls, you like especially like wheat cent rolls. Especially if you like uncirculated wheat cent rolls. Be here tomorrow. I'm getting some of that stuff ready to run it at auction. Rolls and half rolls of uncirculated wheat rolls. I've got full date wheat rolls of circulated ones. There's another one of the RPMs right there. This one goes to Mr. Worley. There'll be some memorial rolls as well. Perhaps some other group lots. Maybe mystery boxes. Get us back into a nice little groove of running some nice auctions. And here's one for Taco John. Last and final coin in the roll is for Taco John. And here it is. Oh, yuck. We got one of the little softies. Not a pretty looking die at all. I mean, the coin's decent. The die is horrible. Mark, yes, there will be some OBW rolls as well. We'll have some late wheat and a bunch of memorial OBW rolls. And that is the last coin in this roll. And what we end up with is this rather substantial pack of normal coins here, because we only have 5 die varieties that came out of the roll. These are going to be coins numbered 40, 48, 39, 15, and number 5. That's what I have for now. That's all I've got for now, but I appreciate it. You guys have a great night. Have a great week. If I don't see you again, remember tomorrow, the auction. And then we have reveals for the remainder of the week. So don't miss it. I'll talk to you later. You guys have a great night.